It's part three. Part three of the live session with carrypad.com, netbooknews.com, and meetmobility.com/live. We've got a bunch of tablets here. This is part three. We're going to look at the 7-inch devices we've got here. We have the BlackBerry PlayBook. We have the Htc Flyer, and we have the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7-incher as well. We're going to try and go over these devices. This is a live session, so if you're watching it on YouTube, it's been recorded as a stream. The quality isn't up to our usual standards, although it's pretty close to my usual standards of YouTube video.
You're
right?
an MCVGA guy.
Still. I guess we'll be about 30 minutes on this, but do join us on the live sessions next time, because there's chat happening in the background and you get to ask questions and spread the word. Unsponsored, none of these devices were sent to us. We've bought all these devices, so a unique experience. Spread the word. Right, let's get down to it, and Sasha is going to give us a quick overview of kind of sizing and build quality and materials and weight. So let's just switch down to the three tablets we've got here. Sasha, tell us about them.
Well, let's start with the very first one that came out, that got launched during IFA in September 2010. That's over here, the Samsung Galaxy Tab. 7-inch 1024 by 600 was the resolution. Right now it just received an upgrade to Android Gingerbread. It comes with an ARM Cortex i9. That's the Hummingbird platform they're using for it. In terms of the benchmarks that we did, it is slightly faster than the iPad 1. It's a fantastic device in my opinion. Samsung has a couple of great apps. The Gmail, their mail app is fantastic, and you can buy this Wi-Fi version in Europe right now for around 285 euros. The 3G version is around 360 euros. I tell you what, even though that this is not running dual core, or this is not running Honeycomb, or whatever, you can't go wrong with it. It is really a very, very nice tablet. And well, Steve, you're using it for quite a while. You're using it on a daily basis. Same for me. I just love this tablet, and Samsung just did a fantastic job in my opinion.
Yeah, 7 months I've been using it now.
Sorry about that. I had to.
You got a runny nose there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know where that one was coming from.
Yeah, allergic to beer. So that was the 7-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab. I think it has a nice look and a nice finish. It's quite light. It's nice to hold in the hand. It's one of the thinnest of the 7-inch tablets as well. HTC Flyer, size, build, weight.
So HTC Flyer, again, 7-inch 1024 by 600 is the resolution. It's running on a new single-core Qualcomm Snapdragon, clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, so performance is really, really good on this one. Especially, you have to keep in mind there are not so many multi-core optimized apps.
That's true.
The funny thing is, the perfect example for this is the way Apple was pushing multi-core with the iPad 2. And then they have this was it not Movie Maker? I'm always mixing it up.
Yeah, the
Movie Maker from Apple. Yeah. Whatever. iMovie? Yeah, I think it's iMovie.
It's iMovie,
right?
yeah.
It's not even supporting dual core.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, which is quite a bummer.
Yeah.
But anyways, not so many apps supporting dual core right now. So this 1.5 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon could be, in a lot of user scenarios, superior to a Tegra 2 device, to a TIO map, to whatever we have
to
around.
dual cores. I totally agree. In fact, I've seen, although we're supposed to be talking about build materials and size, I've seen this one run faster than Honeycomb tablets in terms of browsing. Just go around the device, Sash, talk about the materials, unless you've got the sniffles there.
It's a kind of aluminum. Again, it's a unibody system. It has, even though it has plastic on the bottom and on the top of it, I think it feels very solid. The build quality is great.
Yep.
It is a little bit heavier than the Galaxy Tab. We have a huge camera here on the back. That was a 5 megapixel camera, and I think it's a 2 megapixel on the front.
Yes.
And I think it feels very solid.
Yeah. Let me just show you the this part of the back. Which
oh yeah,
this is where the SIM card and micro SD go in, and it is an absolute pain in the ass to get off. In fact, I wouldn't like to be changing the micro SD card at all on this because it is just impossible. Try it. I mean, seriously, try it. And don't break it.
You know, that's a difference between a professional mobile computing blogger and someone is hiding here in a cellar and trying to copy you.
So go ahead, take it off. Let's. Oh, he used brute force. That's outrageous.
You know, that's what you're doing. That's a matter of experience. That's a matter of technique.
Shut up! I'm going to show the inside of the device. There's the SIM card slot. That's where the micro SD card goes. The camera module is here. Be careful when you do that very aggressive panel removal maneuver that Sasha just demonstrated. In fact, I can't get it on. I think you've broken it, Sasha.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God.
No, I didn't.
He's broken it. No, he hasn't. It's still working. So in terms of like size and weight, very similar to the Galaxy Tab. A little bit thicker, a little bit heavier, but the materials are good, and I have no problems with the build quality at all and the materials used. How about bringing the PlayBook in now, because this is different.
This is definitely different. Also 7-inch device. This is running on a TI OMA processor. Well, that's also based on an ARM Cortex A9. 1 gigahertz, 1 gigabyte of RAM. I got the 16 gigabyte version, which actually costs $499 US. Wi-Fi only right now. 5 megapixel camera on the back. I think it's also a 2 megapixel camera on the front. The biggest difference is it's running a different operating system. This is Tablet OS. It was made by a company called QNX or QNX, and I think this is just pretty much the fastest OS that I've seen on any tablets so far.
Yeah. Just talk about the size though quickly before we go into the OS stuff. Sizing and materials and weight.
It is a little bit thinner than the Samsung Galaxy Tab. It is wider and higher.
I'm worried that it's so much wider it's not going to fit in my back pocket, so I'm going to do a live back pocket test right now.
Okay.
Give that to me. Oh, that's a tight fit. That's not the. You see, the Galaxy Tab is a very easy slot in. The PlayBook, yeah, you see, that's going to catch you out. That's a little bit wider than I'd like for the back pocket.
Get some decent baggy trousers, and then it's going to work.
Or a big ass.
Yeah, it's, as I said, it's a little bit wider, it's a little bit higher. In terms of weight, I think that's almost the same. I would guess under 400 grams, or around 400 grams.
It's 400 grams. The PlayBook, I believe.
Okay, and the Galaxy Tab was 380 in my opinion.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and I've only got the figures in ounces here. Let me just quickly check those out for you. The PlayBook is...
Well, just believe me, it's almost the same weight.
Yeah, it's 400 grams, and the Galaxy Tab is, I think it's 390. It is nothing.
Yeah,
You're right. It's nothing.
So yeah, but what I like about this is it's kind of rubberish plastic. It feels very, very good to hold it, and it is a nice finish. And not only nice finish, I think it's a very solid build quality.
The Americans want the weight in Aussies.
Ounces?
What is this Aussies thing that we have? 13.4 Aussies for the
ounces.
Tab. 13.4 Aussies for that, and then for the BlackBerry PlayBook, it's 14.1 Aussies. All right.
There you go. So yeah, well that's about it, right? The difference are well we have a micro HDMI out.
Ports, yeah. Let's look at the ports now.
And we have a micro USB. And
the third one was power for the docking.
Yeah, that was for the docking station.
Right.
And that's about it. Well, we don't have any micro USB. On
No, the Galaxy Tab has very little in terms of connectivity. It just has a proprietary connector.
We have a SIM card. We have a micro SD card here.
Yep.
That's of course a
That's
difference.
nice.
There's no micro SD card on the PlayBook.
There's nice to have those externally on the Galaxy Tab. You can pop the micro SD card out quite easily. This does have the 3.5mm headset port as well, and a mic, external mic as well.
And it's a pretty decent volume control button with a play and a pause button in the middle.
Right, and you can do screenshot by pressing both at the same time, apparently. Yeah, I think if you press the middle.
Oh, the middle one.
There. Oh no, James Kendrick was. Oh, it's not an easy process.
I'm not sure. I think he just wanted to ruin the show again. So, yeah, that's a completely different approach.
So let's look at the ports on the Flyer, and this is a pretty simple one as well. Micro USB port at the bottom, used for charging. There's a big dock. Sorry, I've just turned your headphone off your mic off, so you can have a big nose blow.
Can I do that?
There's a high capacity charger, or a high ampage charger, which will charge us fairly quickly. There's nothing really much at all around the outside apart from the 3.5mm headphone port there, and that is pretty much it. So note, no video out on the HTC Flyer. So we've got video out HDMI on the PlayBook. We've got video out HDMI via a converter cable. Also, I believe there's composite that comes out there as well, but you need to buy the cable. So bear that in mind if you're looking at attaching these to, home video systems, right? And you're back in the room.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Flyer has a USB to HDMI adapter, says Guy on Tech. Thanks, Guy. So is this an actual HDMI output that's put through the USB port, or is this some sort of USB converter? I don't know. Guy, if you could elaborate on that. So is it going to pass through 1080p at high bit rates, and is it going to pass through audio as well? Guy's going to get the link. He's going to put it in the chat session. All right, Sasha. Now we need to talk about the software, because this is the really important bit, and this is where the main differences come with the devices. So people that know Android will feel at home straight away with the Samsung Galaxy Tab. It is pretty basic Android plus some Samsung optimizations. There's nothing really special about what they've done. They've just made some of the applications nicer. Yeah. I'm just going to do a real basic summary here. The Flyer, on the other hand, has HTC Sense, which is a very deep UI layer that adds a lot of functionality to the device out of the box, and I think this is the device where you can hit the road running very easily with, in terms of things like having a Twitter app installed and some Facebook and some Flickr sharing as well.
They have kind of great default app setup with the HTC.
Very rich.
It's not only a launcher.
No,
this is so heavily integrated into Android.
Absolutely. So the other thing is this has a digitizer layer. So not only does it have capacitive multi-touch finger, it has a digitizer layer which reacts to a pen, which we keep losing, and that's one of the things you have to think about. So there is software in the HTC Flyer that reacts to the pen. The pen is it's an active pen. It has buttons for erase on it as well, and you could do all sorts of stuff with the applications that HTC are provided. Where the applications don't support the pen, using the pen simply takes a snapshot of the screen, and then you can annotate over that and then share that as a JPEG. So there's a big difference in software here, and this pen feature is one of the key kind of selling points that you hear a lot from HTC. But then when we move to the PlayBook, and I'm going to switch the cameras, and Sash, you'll need to talk through this now, because this is vastly different. It's a different UI. It's something that no one really has experienced before. I'm going to ask you, is it intuitive, number one?
Absolutely.
You can get out the box and start knowing what you're going to do pretty easily.
As soon, well, what they did, as soon as you're switching it on, it's starting kind of little how-to walkthrough, so that you're getting used to these gestures. As soon as you know them, I think everything is very intuitive. I mean, the way that I'm swiping, for example, from one app to the other, right? I think that is as intuitive as swiping through a picture gallery, and that is very cool. That I'm getting back to the home screen by doing the swipe up, and then I'm opening the rest of the apps by doing another swipe up. And when I'm here again, you know, just to get up these extra settings and to get up the keyboard here, I think that is absolutely fantastic. And you need to know 3 or 4 gestures on here, and then you can handle the whole tablet so easily. What I also like about this is, I mean, we've been talking, even though this is already very specific, we've been talking about codecs and how compatible these tablets are. Whatever I've been uploading onto my PlayBook, well, I haven't done WMVs on it so far, but I mean, these are kind of DivX X264 codecs, right?
Right.
And
that's working pretty well. Let me just switch the camera so you can see that. So great codec support in there. Let's just mention the other devices. Great codec support also in the Galaxy Tab. Not so great codec support in the HTC Flyer. So that's a big difference there. And I'm seeing some really, really slick performance on the PlayBook. That's for
and now
sure.
Look at this. Now this is running in the background, and I can do this with a 1080p video. That's not a 1080p right now.
Right.
That's an X264.
Right
now.
What about other apps? What about email and productivity? Your standard
let's
sort of Office apps as well.
Let's take a look at. By the way, you can still hear it, right?
Yeah,
this video
is still running in the background. You want to turn that off because you'll run out of battery.
Yeah. Let's. Okay, let's go back here.
How many apps, for example, in the PlayBook App Store now?
Let's just head over to the App World and let's take a look.
It's called App World, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Blackberry App World, and let's take a look how this looks like. We have all these featured apps over here. See, a lot of games, a couple of premium apps where you have to pay for. Actually, I can already tell you, it feels like that they are like 70% premium apps and only 30% free apps.
Okay, so
that's completely different.
Well, it does
at
fit.
the moment.
It does fit, doesn't it? With
well, let's take a look. We've been talking about productivity, right? So we have document tools, organization. Let's go to productivity, and then
I'm impressed that there's a few apps there.
There are a few.
There's
apps
quite a
there,
few apps there,
right? Well,
are these all PlayBook apps, or are these
I think
BlackBerry apps as well that run?
Well, most of them have to be somehow PlayBook apps.
Yeah.
Now what? I'm not sure if they are capable of running also the BlackBerry apps on there. I think they were talking about this kind of sandbox where you can run the BlackBerry apps. So it might be the case with this. How I'm getting back here? Oh no, that's switching the apps.
What do you think on the quality of the apps you've seen so far?
I would like to show you the Twitter client.
All right.
I really love it.
Meanwhile, James Kendrick in the chat session was saying that the browser, and he's got one out in the States. The browser, he says, is full desktop quality. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's good. That's really good.
First of all, I'm going to show you the Facebook app. Best Facebook app for a tablet device so far. By far. I'm not kidding. Really by far. This is really setting a standard for Facebook apps. As soon as it's loading, you still this torrent running.
We're going over dial-up link, mate.
Okay, here we go. So that's my news feed. You can see this one here, yeah? Okay, here we go. That's my news feed. And I could switch over to my profile, to my messages. I have 2 new... Oh, wait. Where was that? There's some people sending me messages.
We've got one of these devices here is pulling stuff in from the internet. I'm seeing
friend requests, and
it's me.
I could chat right now over here. So, but for example, let me show you. Okay, maybe I should hold it a little bit here in the camera. Let me show you the way it handles comments. Well, I can just give it a like over here. You see, like, leave a comment, keyboard comes up. It's very, very easy to handle it and to handle your streams. I absolutely love this application. But now let's go to the Twitter one. Oh, here we go. Let's get down here. Not this one, because this is just bringing you to twitter.com. It's called Tweetless. A completely different approach to a Twitter app. So over here I have my main timeline of Twitter. Well, actually it's refreshing right now. So okay, not so. Oh, here we go. Now all these updates are coming in. And on the right side, you can see all these Twitter accounts that were tweeting in my main timeline. So what I can do right now, this is going to be my filter.
Right.
So I can now filter all these.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice feature.
I've never seen it on any
Can
client
you change this to be things like tags or anything else?
No, right now I can do this also with messages and with mentionings.
Oh, right, okay.
So wherever I am...
It's a people filter.
Exactly.
Right.
It is a people filter. And I actually really like it.
It's a shame you can't put a keyword filter or anything else in there as well.
I can set up direct messages. It's a pretty cool client.
It seems to me, though, that in terms of software, the Playbook is for existing platforms. It's not like a discovery platform where you're not going to discover the next best social network, because it's not going to appear on here until that social network becomes established, right? At least for the time being. And what I'm seeing, all the other clients are based on very, very popular pre-existing platforms already, right? Let me just test something. So I'm going to go to pictures. I'm going to try and stick something up at Flickr, for example. So let's go to all pictures, and I'm a new user. So how am I going to share this one? I'm going to tap and hold, or is there any way I can share this? Is there a menu? What are you going to...
There you go.
I can set it as wallpaper. Can I share it?
Obviously not.
That's one thing I am very worried about is the sharing subsystem. The sharing subsystem
I agree with you.
On iPad and Android is second to none. In fact, I believe Android is the best sharing subsystem there is.
There's no sharing option.
So you can't, and it's not just sharing with the internet, it's also sharing with other apps. For example, on Galaxy Tab, you can share it with something that's going to allow you then to work on the picture, or you can share it into the internet to an internet service as well. So that might be something that some people... it would certainly trip me up, that's for sure. Someone, Nido, is saying 3,000 apps available on the Playbook. Okay, maybe some productivity focus there, he's saying as well. Right. So I'd love to see a comparison of Galaxy Tab. So a lot of people are talking about 10 inches still on the chat session there. I still personally feel that 7 inches is a sweet spot, but that's then me in a mobile usage scenario. What other stuff can you show us on the apps there? We'll demo the HTC Flyer pen app again in a minute as well.
Right. Well, we have Bing Maps over here, which is kind of interesting, instead of the Google Maps.
Well, that's interesting because in Germany, does it cover Germany yet? Last time I tried Bing Maps,
they're actually just driving around at the moment, right? Yeah. So that's the very first time I'm opening it. So I'm sorry about that.
That's what Bing Maps needs. I mean,
I think that's what's happening to Bing Maps all the time.
Oh, I was watching it's not moving very well.
No.
Oh, that's a little bit.
Let's try to. Okay, let's go to Taiwan, because then I know where I am. Okay, and let's.
It's not very good. The backfill on that is not very good, right?
No.
So pinch to zoom. No double click to zoom?
No.
Nope. And what about rotation? Nope.
Nope. Can't find our...
Okay, has it got GPS in? Can you say, find out where I am now?
Yeah, well...
Go to my location?
Of course, location search. But it just can't find us right now over here.
Well, it should be able to, based on Wi-Fi.
It should be, but obviously it's not working here. With
so it doesn't have a kind of Skyhook or Google location service backend.
Forget about this Bing thingy. What else do we have here? It comes with Need for Speed Undercover, so if you really want to get into some racing games. It has a video chat function. I never did a picture with it. It has a YouTube videos application. Of course, you can also go to the YouTube site, right? But this is a very simple...
Well, does it go to HQ quality, or is it just...
I think you can do them all, right?
It will go to HD. It will stream HD. That'll be a first. No tablet streams HD yet.
Well, we did the HD before.
No, streaming through a YouTube app.
Okay. No, I don't think so.
Actually, yeah, you're right. This supports it so well within the web page.
Yeah, so why should I use the app?
Yeah.
Right.
That's nice, though.
And again, it's just running. You know what? Okay, let me show you one thing. When we go into settings, we're going to I think it was general. Okay, over here you have something called application behavior, and now it's set to default. And you can also set up a demo mode. It's running demo movies when it's recharging or in idle.
Right.
But now let's set it to showcase. All open applications are active and never pause in the background. Now watch out. So this is now...
Okay.
Now I'm going to show you a little bit about multitasking. So this video is still running, right?
Yeah.
Let's come up with... Let's close this one. And... Oh, sorry. Let's close this one. And let's open another video. You can hear it's still running.
The video's still running in the background. So don't tell me you got...
Well, normally it should still run. Which is kind of weird.
Okay. But what's it... Go back to that setting thing again, because that means you can actually tell stuff to pause when it's in the background, which is a very, very much an iPad...
Yeah.
An iPad style of working. So when it's in the background, it's not doing anything.
Exactly.
So it won't start to... I wonder how paused that is. I wonder if you for example, the Twitter client won't...
Exactly. So when I got on here, it immediately starts again.
Wow.
Put it in the background, freezes.
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Let's take a look at the HTC Flyer quickly, because I want to demonstrate the pen capabilities very quickly and the difference between the pen use in the HTC apps and the pen use in non-HTC pen apps. So Notes is the application that will that's funny, because the actual home screen doesn't support the pen, so you actually have to press Notes with your finger to bring up the Notes app, which is the application that now supports the pen. So I can now write on the screen. I can also write with my palm resting on the screen as well, but you do have to be very careful, because if you rest your palm on the wrong bit, you're going to hit a capacitive button or some other part of the screen, and it's going to do something else, like bring the keyboard up, for example. The key, I want to zoom in a little bit on that actually, because there we go. The accuracy of the handwriting, or let's say the flow of the handwriting, is a little bit laggy. You have to slow down a little bit to get good quality text going in, although it's reasonable, I would say, for a device like this. Look how much of the space is wasted though, with this stupid ring binder effect on the left hand side. We've got margins on the top there. There is quite a lot of space wasted there as well. So Notes allows you to then send into Evernote. Sorry, Notes automatically go to Evernote, and Evernote can do some OCR stuff in the background, and it also allows you to share between your devices that also have an Evernote installed as well. And I used it very successfully today by just making a note on here, and then it appeared on my Galaxy tab just seconds later. So that was quite nice. But let's go to an app that doesn't support the pen. And what happens when you press the pen on the screen is it takes a screenshot. Now that is a fixed screenshot. Look, I cannot scroll across Gmail, but what I can do is highlight something, and then using my finger and not the pen, I can actually share it via the sharing subsystem in Android. So that's nice for taking a screenshot and saying, here, look, this is my house, or here, look, I want you to answer this email, or something like that. But it's not ideal for note taking. There's a PDF application here which does a little bit more than just allow you to annotate, because it will actually resave the PDF as a PDF afterwards. Let me see if I can find a PDF. I'm downloading a very big one. This is a scan of a Google book. It's a huge PDF file. Come on, let's find an actual page in the PDF that's got something in it. There we go. So now that, when I save that, that will save it in the PDF, so you can actually share the PDF, and it's an annotated PDF. So that's pretty important as well. But this problem with you just having a screenshot, now I think I'm on the home screen, but I'm not. I'm on a screenshot of the home screen with the pen. To come out of that, I need to use my finger, go discard, and then I'm back into the home screen. So there's some kind of disconnection between the pen apps and the non-pen apps. I also think that not having the pen stowable is an issue, and the fact that it's got a battery in, it's a quadruple A battery, also brings kind of failure point into the equation as well, although that's the same with all active digitizer pens. HTC Sense is superb as usual. I was really impressed with this. It includes a lot of the apps that you expect, that I expected. I mean, maybe it's built for me. I expected to have a Twitter application. I wanted the weather. These are the things that I install, when I start using a tablet. But these were already installed, and I was very impressed. Polaris Office is in there. There's a setup application. Let's go to all apps. The pre-installed apps include, I'm pretty sure Skype is in there. No, maybe not. Okay, Press Reader. We've got SoundHound, which is a music. You hold it up to a speaker and it will tell you the music that's playing. Camera and camcorder apps are pretty good. There's some touch to focus during video taking. There's a Facebook app. Everything was pre-installed, and I think this is important for your average user, not your tech blogger, not us. This is important for the average user, that everything is working from day one. It doesn't matter what's underneath. People don't even need to know that it's Android, but because HTC Sense gives you all that kind of nice stuff on the top, it means you hit the ground running, and I like that about the HTC Flyer. Browser is pretty fast, as I mentioned, as fast as on Honeycomb, and there's no stability issues here. I see crashes on Honeycomb browsers on the A500. Haven't seen any crashing on here at all. Battery life. Battery life on the Galaxy Tab is around 6 hours in use, screen on, Wi-Fi on. Same on the HTC Flyer. Looks to be a little bit better, actually. They seem to be doing a nice job on this. Maybe it'll be a little bit more than the Galaxy Tab. The PlayBook, Sasha. What is the battery life that you've experienced on the PlayBook so far? 5 hours. So a little bit less than, maybe 10 to 20% less than the Flyer. So it might be important if you're enjoying the microphone. It might be a bit important.
I do. I'm a pain in the microphone.
What about pricing? On this video we should mention pricing. So for a Wi-Fi only version of these,
€285, which is like $350.
HTC Flyer is coming in at $499, I think.
For the 3G version?
No, 3G is more.
For the Wi-Fi only version.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So $499, a little bit more expensive.
Absolutely.
PlayBook,
$499 US.
$499 US, which is
60
probably going to be
gigabyte
$499 EU.
Yeah.
Right? So the Samsung Galaxy Tab is significantly cheaper than the other two devices. But how do you think the prices are going to drop on those two which have just entered the market? Come on, this was $699 when it started.
I think the price for the PlayBook will stay very stable.
Right.
Because they're aiming at a niche market. This is meant to be the way they're doing the marketing is like for a professional tablet. That's how they call it, the first professional tablet. And I think that's a more stable market in terms of pricing. The HTC Flyer price will drop significantly in the next 6 months.
Yep, I agree.
It will face the same kind of development that we saw with the Samsung Galaxy Tab. That was starting at €799. That was
$799. I remember when we
there
got
were people
that.
buying it at that time. I know it.
Guilty as charged. But I do remember when we heard about it was IFA last September when we heard $799. It was like, you're joking. You are joking. And then we sat down with Samsung and they said, listen, that's your starting price. That's the highest price you'll ever see it. And it's one of these tricks, and I remember JKK telling me about this. It's a nice trick that allows a huge amount of margin, right? And it allows the carriers to effectively look like they're subsidizing it by, 50, 60, 70%.
Yeah.
And in fact, they've bought them for 200, 300 euros a piece, right? Because the margins are so huge. But it looks like a great offer. So you give them to carriers, and start offering them through carrier deals before they go onto the shelves, and it's a great trick, little marketing trick. What happens is then when it reaches the shelves, then the fights start, and then the online retail start bang, 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 and then the price goes through the floor, right?
I think during or during our first Meet Mobility podcast after IFA, we already said that this will drop down to €600 in the next couple of weeks.
Yes,
this will be the kind of street price for it.
And we were right.
Yeah,
it dropped like a stone, and it's now 50% of the price that it launched at. I think because of the hardware on here, they might not reach the cheap prices of the Galaxy Tab. For example, the Digitizer and the pen. The pen costs €60 to buy separately.
I'm not going to buy it.
And that's obviously adding maybe 10, 20 euros to the price of the device. So there's also the Digitizer layer on that. They should do like a Wi-Fi no pen version of this.
Absolutely.
Or a 3G no pen version of this to compete directly with the Galaxy Tab.
The price for this device needs to go down. They won't be able to sell the 3G version. Well, there are always enthusiasts going to buy it, obviously.
Well, that's true, yeah.
But this needs, I think, even with 3G, I think a device like this needs to cost below €500.
Yep.
That's where it's getting competitive, because this will more compete with 3G. It will be competitive to a super phone in between 4 and 5 inch.
How do you switch this on, by the way?
Well, that's a little magic. It has these things are called power buttons.
Oh, right. I thought it was always on. I'm sorry.
So, well, these devices, 7-inch devices, are heavily competing with superphones in between 4 and 5 inch, and they are at a price range $400 to $600 euros.
Right. Does this go into portrait mode at all? It does.
Of course.
They're all three of them are pretty smooth. The Galaxy Tab is the least smooth. No, it's still pretty good, actually.
But I mean, look at this right now. I've been always complaining about, a couple of Android tablets not being so smooth as the iPad.
Yeah.
But this is, look, we are there.
The Flyer is actually not as good as the Tab. The Tab is really nice and smooth as well now, since the gingerbread upgrade. Ooh, it's good. You like that? Tickle
I'm not
at
sure.
you.
Maybe do you still have some tissues around for your Galaxy Tab? I'm not sure if you should do that.
Should we close off this part of the recording?
Now, okay, if someone would ask me which tablet I would recommend, I think somehow I can recommend all of them. The quality standard of these platforms is very, very high.
Yes.
And a significant change to what we saw with the first Android tablets from major brands like, compare these to the first generation of Arcos tablets. Arcos 5, Arcos 7, Arcos 10, Arcos 9. Right? I think about
Have an Arcos 5.
Yeah, there you go. It always reminds me of the Dell Streak, You know that.
Funny that, because it's a 5-inch Android
I know.
tablet.
Well, no, but also the design.
Yeah, it does.
So
Dell Street's a bit wider, actually.
Dell copied the design.
And you know what I like about this one? Listen, if Arcos can do that in a 5-inch tablet,
yeah, isn't that cool?
It's got a stand. What an amazing feature! This
that
is something
costs
missing
like 2
from
cents
all of
to
these.
add this. Okay, so I think all these concepts are great. The best bang for your buck right now is, of course, by far the Galaxy Tab.
Without a doubt.
Keep in mind, this is an older CPU generation, but still, this is a good device. You're getting enough performance. I really like it.
Yep.
But you can tell when you're opening too many applications, it's slowing down.
Yep.
Really
You
have
can
to
reach
point
the
that
limits.
out.
Yep.
You can definitely reach the limits of it. The HTC Flyer is a tablet that's going to develop in the next couple of weeks and months. We will also see an update to Honeycomb for this. But I tell you what, it is super fast. This 1.5 gigahertz Snapdragon really kicks asses. I love the HTC Sense UI on top of it. And I don't care if this is gingerbread or honeycomb. No one should care. It's about the applications and it's about the widgets. So that's a really cool device, but definitely overpriced right now.
Right now, yeah.
It is overpriced. I can't recommend you buying this one right now for this price.
Don't buy it just now. The price will go down.
Wait for some 2 months if you want to get a 7-inch one. They're gonna get some weird competition. Well, I'm very biased with the PlayBook actually. After I've been using it since last Wednesday,
you've got a little love for it, right?
Yeah, I really like it.
Which is important.
I see the potential, and that's what I would like to tell you in general. It's not a matter of what we are telling you. Right, you have specific needs. You should check them out, or you should dig into our reviews, take a look at all the different videos, and please go to other sites. Get also their opinion on this stuff, and try to go into your electronics store chain and get a feeling for it. Hold it in your hands. Are you comfy with it? How it feels? Because I mean, we're talking about devices that cost $500. This is a price where you can also get a notebook, and this is a tablet. This is not a productivity device. This is not like a notebook. You can do so much more with a notebook. So this is first of all a gadget, an additional gadget you're gonna buy. Just make sure that you're comfortable with it. I'm super comfortable with this PlayBook. I love the performance of it. I can see the potential in it. And for me, again, it is a professional device. I tell you where I'm coming from. I've been a BlackBerry user for 3 years, and I had 4 or 5 applications on my BlackBerry. I didn't need more.
Right.
It was a working horse for me. It was a messaging machine. I had just Twitter client, Facebook. I had the Google apps, and that's about it. So when I'm getting 4 or 5 applications, productivity applications on here, then I'm absolutely happy with it. I don't even need more. The performance of it is great. And always remember, the most important application that you can get on a tablet, on a phone, on a notebook, and on a desktop is the browser.
Right.
The browser is the application of it all. And this device is offering you a desktop experience on a tablet in terms of the browser and in terms of the speed and performance. And that's why for the 7-inch class, I have this one too here. I love it. I would choose right now the PlayBook.
Interesting. I'm worried about the sharing subsystem, and I'm worried about the apps. I like discovery. That's a big thing, a big part of Android for me. So a big part of using the tablet for me. Discovery and sharing is interesting.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to implement sharing very, very soon.
I didn't see a sharing subsystem.
They have to.
I think they have to too. All right, so let's close down this part of the recording. It's been part 3, the final part of the tablet wars that we've. Thanks for coming along and bringing the PlayBook and the Transformer and the iPad. We haven't done much with the iPad 2. I think.
No.
There's enough information out there on the iPad 2, right, already. So, but I definitely will have a look at these over the next couple of days. You're in Bonn till Saturday, so
yeah, we can still do some more videos.
Some more stuff. Let's close this video down. It's Sasha_P on Twitter. My name's Chippy on Twitter. The websites are netbooknews.com, carrypad.com, and this has just been streamed live on meetmobility.com/live, where we do our podcast once every 2 weeks. Every other Friday. We should have one this Friday. I'm not sure if we're going to get to do it because we're doing the conference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we can do in the next few days to get one sorted out. Thanks very much for watching. Part 1 and Part 2 are going up on YouTube as well. We'll catch up with you soon. Those in the live chat session, stay tuned because we're not going away yet.
Thank you, guys.